Maybe you didn't notice, but I haven't reviewed an Avengers comic since the last Ron Spaceman Omnibus, when I did the first part of this two-part story, which ties into Ron Spaceman and features the Avengers contributing to the ongoing warfare against the dire straits. I don't like to start another story on air without resolving whatever story I am in the middle of. And while I'm talking about being in the middle of things, I showed this yesterday, and I don't think the meaning was obvious. If you look, the copyright jargon they have added at the bottom, it reads 2017, which was half a decade before the current deal with Hasbro and IDW. This is Avengers 245 by Royce Sternum and Al Milburn. The dire straits, the evil shape-shifty aliens, they have stolen a rocket from NASA, and the Avengers are dealing with that, namely two of them. Captain Marbles, the real one, Monica Rambeau, who is able to use her light-speed energy form to pursue it into space and then enter the rocket undetected, and Wasps, who was stored away inside the rocket before it launched. One thing I am loving about this issue is it is a good response to one commenter who thinks that Captain Marbles, the real one, Monica Rambeau, is worse than Willow. Her main contribution to this issue is being blindsided by the dire strait on the rocket. They get the drop on her, and so we now instead get to see an action scene with Wasps, and it is good. And we have this excellent visual here of a shrunken down Wasps holding a gun to the head of the alien. Then we cut away to subplot pages, and it concerns the Flash, and it goes nowhere. The Flash is tending to his birth cow, the cow that delivered him at birth, the mid-cow, the cow wife, whatever you want to call her. She was attacked at her house by Mr. Magnet in Vision and Charlotte Witch issue 4, the original miniseries, not the Steve Englehart maxi series, the miniseries by Bill Bungalow. Mr. Magnet was seeking information about his children. It's actually that story where Mr. Magnet learns that the twins are his kids, and their first meeting with them all knowing that information. I have it. Want me to review it? Anyway, we had been building this for a few issues by this point. The Flash, who I have forgotten to say is one of my favourite Marvel characters, he is wanting revenge on Mr. Magnet for what he has done to Bova, the birth cow. And I cannot think of something I want to read more than Royce Sternum following up on this and doing a story with the Flash confronting his villainous father, Mr. Magnet. This is it though. The plotline was dropped. Royce Sternum was forbidden from pursuing it because Christopher Claremont didn't want anyone writing his tragic hero, Mr. Magnet, as anything but pure. This is not the only time Christopher Claremont has put his foot down and stamped all over Royce Sternum writing a story he has already started concerning Mr. Magnet and Mr. Magnet being a villain. I talked about this a lot more in my review of Avengers vs. Excellent Men 4. I probably cannot stand watching it, but maybe you can. So we go back to space and continue our main story. Good thing Mr. Magnus isn't in it, or it would be stopped. The other thing that Captain Marbles, the real one, Monica Rambeau, does in this issue, and this isn't that flashy either, she is used as a means to relay information. She becomes radio waves here to radio a message back to Earth and inform the other Avengers about the situation on the rocket. We are in the midst of Vision, the supercomputer. Vision has been compromised. He was linked up to Metron from the New Gods, and that upgraded his operating system and his database. And now Vision's analytical improvements are making him appear cold and too proactive. I am currently nursing the idea that Vision makes a better villain than he does an Avenger. I have always thought he was one of the most basic characters in the title, and usually the flattest one in any assemblage. But as a villain, there's something there. He's a very lethal and scary villain. I'll leave that thought for another day. He and Shade the Changing Man leave for space to join Wasps and Captain Marbles, the real one, Monica Rambeau. Meanwhile, left behind on Earth, Captain America discovers a Dire Straits operating theatre. This is not a mud pit. Roy Sternum is also building on the idea from Ron Spaceman that there were two types of Dire Straits, and that the two types are also at war with each other, as well as with Earth. We have some cap action, somersaults and cartwheels. Leverage is your best friend, chum. The other two Avengers join the standoff in space with a single Dire Straits. And we get a little showing for Shade the Changing Man. And this artwork was used in the Andy books, the deluxe edition entry for Shade the Changing Man. I know I will have complimented this before, probably in the first part even. I like that all 6 members of the team are active in the issue. You can say each member did something. The worst it gets is, ironically, Captain Marbles, the real one, Monica Rambeau. I remember it was Jason Byrne's West Coast Avengers during the evil Charlotte Witch story. That was when I first realised I like it when team books are having every character do something instead of what Michael Bryan Benson does, which is even worse when you factor in decompression and that a story is 6 issues for him. I do need to do a video about how that model of writing is awful for team books. What happens is the rocket's hatch is blown off in the kerfuffle, and the Dire Straits is sucked off into space and dies, while the Avengers hold on, and they are able to miraculously seal it again before suffocating, or their heads popping due to pressure. It is a victory for them, but on Earth we have this bit that I think it's great in concept. Captain America contacts the other Avenger left behind, Charlotte Witch, and he gives her orders to execute Maneuver 6-8. This tactic requires precise timing, and so we have Captain America counting down from 30 on this page. He is lining his enemy upright so that Charlotte Witch blows a door open and it knocks over the Dire Straits. I felt a bit underwhelmed by that. With the countdown, I wanted more than Charlotte Witch hitting an alien with a door. Go on, say it. Say how much you love this advert. Here is its opposite number with Luke Cage's. Both of them by Bill Son of a Bitch. And much like Manoeuvre 6-8, I think they are a great pair of adverts in concept. I tells you, Mark Brigite wouldn't have a piece with a character wearing a bright yellow and green costume with almost every part of that costume coloured jet black. Seriously, Bill Son of a Bitch is garbage. Absolute shit. The Avengers have temporarily set back the Dire Straits menace and halted their attempts to steal an experimental rocket. Good for them. Most of the team will obviously take part in the actual war depicted in issues of Ron Spaceman. I don't know. It might be that cop-out strategy between Captain America and Charlotte Witch. Or it might be that the subplot with The Flash, one of my favourite Marvel characters, was squashed. I don't recommend this as strongly as you might think I would. I don't not recommend it. This two-parter is fine, but it is missing a certain summit to make a real impression on me. I'll still be fair and give it Manoeuvre 7 thumbs up.